So we continue with the current electricity part, and we are now on the second part of the chapter, that is based on electromotive force, terminal voltage and internal resistance of the cell. So now electromotive force, when you talk about it, is basically the difference in potential between the two ends of a battery. Okay, so if you got a battery, so suppose we take the battery in case of an electrolyte. So it is something like this. That this is a battery which will be having a terminal over here, positive terminal, and the negative terminal which is over here. So this is inside the battery. We consider that this is how the battery is made. The battery is made up in this way, that there will be a electrolyte over here, there will be sulfuric acid, dilute sulfuric acid, and this will be copper, and there will be this dilute sulfuric acid over here. This is dilute H2SO4, and this will be copper electrodes, and accordingly this will be copper, and this will be also copper. Okay, so sorry, this will be zinc. So this is going to form the negative terminal, and this is going to be forming the positive terminal. So due to the presence of this acid, there is going to be a potential which will be generated, because this is going to keep on giving the electrons over here. So that's why the electron will keep on flowing from here to here. So ये हो सकता है कि जब ये battery हो तो the electron will flow from here to here, hence the current will flow from here to here. So when you are having this battery, और ये battery suppose ये एक pencil cell है, और pencil cell के मैंने across अगर मैंने एक voltmeter लगाया, so if I put a voltmeter over here like this, then whatever is the reading it is going to give me is called as the EMF, that is electromotive force. So when electromotive force can be said to be as the potential difference across the two terminals of the battery when the battery is not connected to any circuit, means no current is flowing through it. Okay, the potential difference between the two ends of the battery, okay, the two terminals of the battery, when the battery is not connected, okay, when the battery is not connected to the circuit, at that time whatever is the potential difference across the battery is called as the electromotive force. So we see over here electromotive force of a cell. We have read in the earlier class that an electric cell has two conductors of suitable material kept in an appropriate electrolyte taken in a vessel. So in the 9th standard we had taught that Daniell cell or Voltic cell वगैरह था, तो single the dry cell and the primary cell and secondary cell. So similarly this is the one that in which there will be a cell is there which will be having two conductors placed in a medium or material. Sorry. The electric cell maintains a constant difference in potential between the two conductors called as the electrodes or the terminals by a chemical reaction to obtain the continuous flow of charge between them. Thus, a cell stores the chemical energy and it can be used as a source of current or free electrons. The chemical energy changes into electrical energy when the cell is in use. So, what is going to happen is this particular dilute sulfuric acid in the reaction with copper and zinc over here, it is going to keep on generating electrons over here. Generating means it is going to keep on giving electrons, not generate. So, of course, you cannot generate electrons, but it can even keep on supplying electrons over here. There will be a difference. The chemical reaction is going to take place. So the chemical reaction will be such that the chemical change or the chemical energy is getting converted into electrical energy by the flow of electrons when it is connected to a circuit. Figure 8.11 shows an electric cell having two electrodes, one of zinc and other of copper, placed in an electrolyte, that is dilute sulfuric acid. The electrolyte concept, that is sulfuric acid in water, dissociates into positive ions H plus and negative ions SO4 minus. These ions move towards the electrodes. The negative ions SO4 impart electrons to the zinc electrode and positive ion H1 gains electron from the copper electrode. This reaction creates a difference in concentration of the electrons between the two electrodes of the cell. So H2SO4 में H2 जो है, it is going to go, it is H plus, so it will be going towards the positive terminal. So yeah, H plan dissociate into H plan, and the ions move towards the electrons. The negative ion SO4 imparts electron to the zinc electron. So SO4 being, let's see this. This is H plus and SO4 2 minus. So this SO4 2 minus is going to keep on giving electrons to the zinc side, and H plus is going to take electrons from this side. So accordingly, there will be a potential difference developed between this and this, due to which the current can flow. As a result, the zinc electrode acquires a negative potential, so it is called as a cathode, and the copper electrode acquires a positive potential, so it is called as anode. That is, a potential difference called the electromotive force is created between the two electrodes or terminals of the cell. When no current is drawn, so this is what is the definition of the electromotive force. When no current is drawn from a cell, that is when the cell is open circuit, the potential difference between the terminals of the cell is called as electromotive force or EMF. Okay, so that's what I told you. When no current is drawn from the cell, at that time, whatever is the potential difference between the positive and the negative terminals of the battery are called as the electromotive force of that battery, of the cell. The EMF of a cell is generally denoted by the symbol epsilon. So EMF is given by the symbol epsilon. Okay. Its unit is volts, of course, because it's potential difference, so it is given as volts. It can be measured by connecting a voltmeter of high resistance across the cell. So you are going to put a voltmeter of high resistance across the cell and try to measure the voltage, or that is the potential difference. Okay. When some electrical component such as bulb is joined to the terminals of the cell, electrons flow in the external circuit from the zinc electrode to the copper electrode, or current flows from the external circuit from the copper electrode to the zinc electrode. The current flows in the external circuit because of the EMF between the terminal provided and provide energy for the charge to flow from the components joined in the circuit. Therefore, the EMF of the cell is defined as the energy spent or the work done per unit charge in taking a unit positive charge around the complete circuit of the cell. That is, the circuit outside the cell as well as the circuit in electrolyte inside the cell. So, the work done in taking the electron from here to here and back over here, this complete cycle, the work done to move a charge, okay? So, a unit charge when it is moving, a unit test positive charge when it is made to go around the circuit of the cell, that means inside the cell as well as outside the cell, then the complete work done is said to be the electromotive force. So EMF of the cell or the electromotive force of the cell is defined as the energy spent or the work done per unit charge in taking a unit positive charge, taking a positive charge around the complete circuit of the cell, that is the circuit outside the cell as well as inside the electrolyte, as well as in the electrolyte that is inside the cell. If W work is done in taking a discharge Q around the complete circuit of the cell, then EMF is equal to W upon Q. So that's why EMF is equal to W upon Q. So let's see the factors affecting the EMF. First thing, the EMF of the cell depends on the material of the electrode. So it is going to depend upon the material, that is copper and zinc यहाँ पे जो use किया उसके ऊपर depend करेगा. So material of the electrode. Second, the electrolyte used in the cell, because the electrolyte is going to give you that the continuous electron. So it will depend upon the electrolyte used in the cell. However, it is independent of the shape of the electrode, the distance between the electrode and the amount of electrolyte in the cell. So it is independent. It is not dependent on whether this is a rectangular or a square block or a cylindrical block या shape का अलग रहेगा, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Secondly, it is not going to depend upon the distance between these two, whether they are close by or far apart. उससे भी फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. It is not going to depend upon the distance between the two electrodes, and also it is not dependent upon the electrolyte present over here, whether it is completely filled or half filled, उस पे भी depend नहीं करेगा. So the electromotive force is dependent only on the type of the material of the electrode and the material, that is the electrolyte used in the cell. It is independent of the shape and size of the electrode, independent of the distance of the electrode, and independent of the electrolyte का quantity of electrolyte, amount of electrolyte. Thus, the EMF of the cell is its characteristic property. It is different for different kind of cells. For example, EMF of a voltaic cell is 1.08 volts, that of a Lagrangian cell is 1.5 volts, and a Daniell cell is 1.08 volts. So that is the different kind of cells. Pencil cell वगैरह आता है. That is the dry cell. वैसे voltaic cell and Lagrangian cells are the different kind of cells. इसका EMF will be 1.5 volts. Daniell cell will be 1.08 volts. So that was the EMF, electromotive force. Electromotive force यानी क्या? That particular potential difference across the terminals of the battery when the battery is not connected, or it is an open circuit and is not connected to a circuit, or it is an open circuit, or there is no current flowing through the circuit. Okay, that is EMF. EMF is W upon Q in this case, but otherwise you can just take that initial जो definition था, when no current is passing through, you can always use that as the definition of EMF. Now we see the terminal voltage. So the next thing what we are having is terminal voltage. That is given as capital V. Now if I take a particular kind of a circuit connected to this, यानी एक बल्ब लिया, जो भी किया और फिर इसको कनेक्ट किया. So if I am having some kind of a load or some kind of a thing connected, some kind of a battery or some bulb or a resistance connected to the battery, that means the circuit is now complete. It is not open, it is now a closed circuit. And then the potential difference between these 2 points over here, this over here, will be the terminal voltage. So without the current flowing, EMF. With the current flowing, terminal voltage. Okay, so that is it. When the current is drawn from the cell, when the cell is closed circuit, the potential difference between the electrodes of the cell is known as its terminal voltage. So terminal voltage will be the potential difference across the terminals of the electrodes of the cell when the circuit is closed. So the terminal voltage of a cell is generally denoted by capital V, and it is expressed in voltage, of course. The terminal voltage of a cell is defined, work done के हिसाब से क्या होगा? Just allowing it to not inside but just outside. So it is, the terminal voltage of the cell is defined as the work done by unit charge in carrying a positive charge around the circuit connected across the terminals of the cell. So it is just the circuit outside the cell, not inside. See, EMF में यहाँ से भी work done था. Work done is moving from here to here completely. Whereas in terminal voltage, only work done from here to here. That's it. Okay. So that is the difference between terminal voltage and the potential EMF. If W1 is the work done in carrying a test charge Q around the circuit connected across the terminals of cell, only outside the cell and not inside the cell, then the terminal voltage of the cell is V. So V will be equal to W dash upon Q. Okay. So that means that यहाँ पे जो work done था, that was from here to here and back to this place. यहाँ पे जो work done है is from here to here. So automatically this work done from inside this thing is the work done which is going to be the drop in the voltage. See, work done over here is more, work done over here is less. So when work done over here is more, उसका मतलब है there is some amount of energy which is going to be lost. Okay, that will be some amount of a thing which will be lost over here for it to travel within the electrodes, and that is called as the voltage drop. Okay, So the difference between the EMF and the terminal voltage gives you a new thing, and that is the voltage drop, which is denoted by small v, and hence small v will be equal to epsilon, or we can say epsilon minus capital V. This minus this is voltage drop. So from the definition of EMF and terminal voltage of the cell, it is clear that the terminal voltage V of the cell is less than the EMF E epsilon by the amount of energy spent in flow of charge through the electrolyte inside the cell. If W is the work done or energy spent in carrying the test charge Q through the electrolyte inside the cell, then the quantity W upon Q is called the voltage drop in the cell, which is denoted by small v. So voltage drop can be work done inside the cell, that is going to be small w. So it's outside the cell is W dash, inside the cell is W dash, W small w, sorry, this is small w. So we know that small v will be equal to small w upon small q. Okay, this is capital W. Thus the work done per unit charge in carrying the positive charge through the electrolyte is called as the voltage drop in the cell. It is also called because the voltage is not available for us for use, because whatever voltage is going to be used up over here to do this work is not available for us for use. It is being lost. Okay, there is a loss of the voltage in the battery, in that cell. So cell is going to utilize some amount of work for itself, and that is nothing but the voltage drop of the cell. Relationship between EMF and terminal voltage: if W is the work done in moving a test charge Q outside the as well as inside, and W dash is the work done in moving the test charge outside the cell, and small w is the work done in moving the charge inside the electrolyte, then W, capital W, is equals to W dash plus W. Accordingly, W upon Q will be W dash upon small w Q upon Q. Accordingly, we have that E is equals to V plus V. Also, this is this, or it is like E epsilon is equals to big V plus small v. Okay, so these are the different relationship between the voltage drop, EMF, and the terminal voltage. So EMF is equals to terminal voltage plus the voltage drop, or the voltage drop is equals to EMF minus the terminal voltage. Thus, when the current is drawn from a cell, its terminal voltage is less than its EMF epsilon by an amount equal to the voltage drop V inside the cell. When a heavy current is drawn from the cell, a large number of charge carriers flow through the electrolyte, and hence more work is done. This results in more voltage drop V, hence less terminal voltage V. Thus, the terminal voltage V of a cell depends on the amount of current drawn from it. So, it is simple that जितना करंट यहाँ से लिया जाएगा उतना ही करंट यहाँ से भी पास होना है. So the more the current drawn from the battery, the more will be the voltage drop. So the voltage drop is definitely going to be more if more amount of current is drawn through the battery. So there is a distinction of the EMF and the terminal voltage. That EMF, it is measured by the amount of work done per unit charge in moving the positive charge in complete circuit inside and outside. Whereas terminal voltage is a measure of the amount of work done in moving the per unit charge in moving the positive charge in the circuit outside the cell. EMF, it is characteristics of the cell, that is, it does not depend on the amount of current drawn from it. Whereas terminal voltage depends on the amount of current drawn from it. More the current drawn from the cell, less is the terminal voltage. EMF, it is equal to the terminal voltage when cell is not in use, while greater than the terminal voltage, then cell is in use. It is equal to the EMF of the cell when the cell is not in use, while less when the EMF of the cell, less than the EMF when the cell is in use. The next what we see is the internal resistance of the cell. When the cell is closed, the current flows through the cell through its electrolyte, and due to the flow of ions, both cations and anions, while outside the cell through the external circuit due to the flow of free electrons. So we very well know that the flow of electrons कैसे होगा? तो from year to year it will be the flow of the electrons from the conductor, but from year to year it will be the cations and the anions over here which are going to move and allow the movement of the current. So the current is going to move outside the circuit because of the free electrons, and inside the battery, inside the cell, due to the movement of the ions and anions and the cations. Now it flows from anode to cathode in the external circuit, and from cathode to anode inside the cell through the electrolyte, so as to maintain a constant potential for the continuous flow. The resistance offered by the electrolyte inside the cell to the flow of current is called as internal resistance of the cell. So here, between these two electrodes, whatever is the resistance between them is called as the internal resistance of the cell. So the resistance offered by the electrolyte for the passage of the current from one electrode to another electrode is called as the internal resistance of the cell. So the resistance offered by the electrolyte inside the cell due to the flow of the current is called as internal resistance of the cell. It is the internal resistance of the cells due to which its voltage drops on drawing current from it. It is denoted by the symbol small r, and it's again the unit is ohm. If current I is drawn from the cell of which internal resistance is small r, the voltage drop is equals to V is equals to IR. So we know that internal resistance is equals to small r. So if small v, that is voltage drop, will be equal to capital I into R, because we know that V upon I is equals to R. So voltage drop is equals to current passing through the circuit, because current is going to be the same. Throughout the circuit, the current is going to be the same. So current into resistance, that is the internal resistance R, will give you the voltage drop. So voltage drop over here will be known to us. Because we cannot find out the W. We see here we are taking W. Now work done we cannot know. The charge we cannot know. But through the ammeter and voltmeter we can find out what is the voltage and the current. So accordingly I can find out the current. I know the resistance, or I can find out the resistance and find out the I know the voltage drop. So that can be done. So the current is drawn in the cell from the internal resistance R. The voltage drop V is equals to IR, small I, big R into a small r. For circuit analysis, the internal resistance R of the cell is considered to be connected in series with the cell as shown in the figure. So normally, whenever you show any figure, so any particular circuit if you are showing, so in that circuit you will always show the internal resistance to be as in series with the battery. So ये battery अगर है तो उसके साथ में एक series में a small r ले लेंगे. So it will always be in series with the circuit. So this is the representation of internal resistance. Now relationship between the EMF, terminal voltage and internal resistance. So we know that let the cell of the EMF epsilon and internal resistance be R be used to send the current of the external resistance R. So we have this particular circuit that this is connected over here. This is the cell connected to a circuit which is in the resistance capital R over here. The voltage is V, the voltage is V over here across this thing, the voltage is V, and the current which is passing through over here is I. So we know that the total resistance of the circuit will be R plus small r, okay, and we know that I is going to be equal to EMF upon the resistance. So EMF upon R plus R. So therefore EMF is equals to I into R plus R. So EMF will be equal to I into R plus I into small r. But we know that I into big R is nothing but the voltage inside. So epsilon is equals to capital V, and this is nothing but small v, so it is equal to plus small v. So hence the same thing we get over here. So because we know that I into R is, this is capital V is equals to I into R, and this one over here is equals to I into small r. Okay. So accordingly we have that E is equals to V upon V, or V is equals to small v is equals to epsilon minus V. From the equation, we can also find the value of R. R is equal to small v upon I or epsilon minus v upon I. वो तो बहुत सारे हम लोग को जो चाहिए वो बना सकते हैं. So now the factors affecting the internal resistance. So let's see those. The internal resistance of the cell depends upon 4 factors. The surface area of the electrodes. Now the area of the surface area of electrodes. जितना ज़्यादा surface area, the internal resistance will be less, because जितना ज़्यादा surface area, the electrons will be able to move faster. That's why the resistance will be less. Okay. So first thing, it is the internal resistance will be inversely proportional to the surface area of the electrodes. More the surface area, lesser the internal resistance. Second is the distance between electrodes. जितना distance पास में उतना resistance कम. So more the distance, more the resistance. More the distance between the two electrodes, more be the resistance. Lesser the distance, lesser the resistance. More the distance between the electrons, greater the internal resistance. Third, the nature and concentration of the electrolyte. Less ionic the electrolyte or higher the concentration of the electrolyte, greater is the internal resistance. So जितना ions जितना ज़्यादा, okay, जितना ज़्यादा ions उतना कम resistance. So that's why higher the concentration of the electrolyte, greater is the internal resistance. So less ionic the electrolyte. So if the ions are less, then the resistance will be more. The temperature of the electrolyte, higher the temperature, lesser is the internal resistance. So more the temperature, lesser the resistance, because it will be much faster for it to move. So that's why, because it will be having more kinetic energy because temperature is higher. So more the temperature, lesser the internal resistance. So that was about the internal resistance. Now we see about the combination of resistors. So that we'll take it in the next video.